Hey there, comic friends! Time for another Monster Comics Reviews. This is going to be a 2-week, very quick run through. We'll see how quick it is. I have lots of superhero books, so it's going to be a bit. So hopefully I can blast right through these, say just a few words about each, and let you know what I'm reading and kind of what I think about them. The Bounce. Still interesting story. We get more background on Darling, who's this guy who's kind of trying to break into this other realm where all the superpowered people come from. Still not outstanding, but interesting enough that I want to keep reading it for that. Just Leave America, issue number 9. Mostly to do with Stargirl and Martian Manhunter. I don't know that I'm buying this storyline. And exactly what's going on. It's okay. Defenders issue number 11. Didn't particularly care for this issue. Big party on Paradise Island, and then they're attacked by some of the Greek god type things that and monsters that are main nemesis to this whole thing is kind of brought up and whatnot. And Annabelle does have a relationship to some degree with the dancer that they've just now picked up. Forever Evil Arkham War issue 2. You get the battle, Bane's taking over everything. Interesting how the Penguin is playing everybody against everybody else to try and get the best deal out of it. That's the interesting part of this. Good artwork, some pretty fun lines in it. I am actually enjoying this crossover thing. 0-year issue of Batgirl. I've talked about it a couple other places. It cost me an extra $1. It didn't feel to me like it really added anything to Barbara Gordon as a person, even during this time in her life. I don't understand why she's got short hair. But yeah, I didn't particularly care for it. Added nothing to me. It will be forgettable when this is all said and done. Not written by Gail Simone also. Marvel Knight X-Men. This is issue 1. This was I enjoyed it, but it was kind of a letdown. And the fact is that the Marvel Knight Spider-Man is so crazy pants. Art-wise and story-wise. I was kind of expecting something to be really off the rails with this one too. And to me, it didn't feel so much like that. You know, they go to some backwoods West Virginia kind of place where there's hicks and whatnot, and they're tracking down mutants that they've discovered that are there and are trying to scoop them up and protect them. To me, that seems like a relatively well-used storyline. But we'll see. It may come out to something else. Just the kind of the first issue that sets that up, that's what they're out to do. What they end up actually discovering could be something completely different. So the next issue could be a surprise. The artwork is cool. Most of it is like this cover, that kind of shaded and interesting colors where the characters are in cools and the backgrounds are in these kind of warm colors like that. So that part of it was neat. Wasn't bad, but it wasn't like I opened it up like the Marvel's Knights Superman and went, holy crap. That was not the case with this, but still okay. Spear Foes of Spider-Man number 5 continues to be absolutely hilarious. They actually get in, break in, beat up, and get to the treasure they were supposedly after, and it's not even the treasure that Boomerang said they were going after. Yeah, it's something completely different, and that was pretty funny. And the Shocker does escape the trunk that he was in last issue, and he discovers something that's pretty amazing by the end of this too. It's pretty funny. No idea where this book's going to go. I've seen Nick Spencer on Twitter saying, hey, make sure you're talking about this book. Make sure you're getting people to read it because sales are important, and he loves writing it. So I don't know. It may be on the cusp of going away. Plus the fact it's one of the $2.99 books that I question how many of those are going to be left here very quickly. Okay, next up, Suicide Squad, issue 25. I'm actually really digging Suicide Squad. This is fun. I'm going to have to kind of backtrack and get the rest of the Matt Kent stuff and probably the Alex Knott stuff also, because I am enjoying it. Kind of cool to see OMAC in here. OMAC's kind of the prize. They're trying to control as this whole forever evil thing is going on. And Bellram is out of control, and Waller is going down into the levels of the basement that nobody knows about to unleash something that she really never wanted to unleash ever again. So, interesting stuff. I'm enjoying it. I wish Harley had a better costume, but, you know, we'll always continue to be my complaint. Let's see, the ever popular or not popular Batman Year Zero. This is issue 25, the Metallica cover. I'm really enjoying the book. I'm enjoying the story. I'm intrigued by these guys at the very beginning. They're out in the desert somewhere. They find something and then they disappear between the very couple first pages and the very last pages. That's really interesting. I think that's great storytelling to compel us to that. You know, get a more description of the whole setup of what's going on. We get a little Harper Row story at the back for the backup story in the back that I thought was pretty cool too. Lots of pages of books, stiffer than all get out cover. I know people have been complaining about the price because it's $4.99, but you are getting more material than you're getting in any other books that you're paying for. So I think you're getting your money's worth as far as that goes. And we get this Dr. Death character that's in here who we've seen before the New 52. This Dr. Death is much more twisted looking and whatnot. So that's pretty cool. I'm still enjoying all the bits and pieces that are there. I'm not disliking it. Do I think it's the greatest arc so far that Scott Snyder's done? No. But I don't think we've hit the payoff yet. When we hit the payoff, then I think your brain is going to go back and reevaluate the whole thing and make a decision as to whether or not it's the greatest ever. Astro City, and this is issue number 6. Still really enjoying this book. This was kind of another interesting story. We kind of touch back on the whole doorway that we saw in the very first issue. Shows back up here. Of course, a lot of these stories, it's told from a civilian standpoint of kind of a mobster who runs the unions, the dock workers unions, and the tugboats and whatnot, and they have a deal to give this alien through the doorway all of the merchandise that he needs and whatnot. And in the process, he acquires some containers that give you powers, and there's a debate on whether that powers is going to he's going to use those powers or not. And just kind of an interesting story about a person who's making their way in a world full of superpowered people. Pretty cool stuff. Okay, then this week's worth of... Gotta pick them up. This week's last week's worth of superhero books. Batwoman, 0 Year, written by our new writer, Mark Andracchio. A sundry of artists. None of them are going to be the regular artist on the book. I'll continue to complain about the fact that we got this cover, which is kind of crap, in comparison to the outstanding cover that was supposed to be the cover for this. I think if you Google or whatever, you can find out, Batwoman 25, and the solicitation was a gorgeous, gorgeous J.H. Williams cover. Anyway, for being a 0 Year tie-in, I thought this was actually a really good story. We get lots of really interesting parts, more motivation behind Kate Kane. They really, in this issue, they go out and say that she's related to Bruce Wayne, because the Kanes and the Waynes are related. So I thought that was interesting. I mean, something I've always known, but they've never really, put it in people's faces like they do in here, and that I thought was pretty cool. I love Maggie Sawyer is in this also. A young Maggie Sawyer as a Metropolis police officer who's recruited to come down to Gotham to help out during the chaos that's going on. They bring in extra people, and that's some of the places they bring extra people in from. The two of them actually meet, not really meet, but just kind of very briefly. There's a little bit of eyeing between the two of them, so is there some attraction there on one behalf or two behalves? To me, that's really interesting and really kind of a cool thing to kind of throw in there. So the artwork was somewhat schizophrenic in the fact that you got 6 pencilers and 3 or 4 inkers on it, obviously because they had to hurry to get it put together, the amount of time they had. Actually, this kind of does make me look forward to what's coming next for Batwoman. Next up, Batman and Two-Face, the Batman and Robin book, issue number 25. Absolutely loving this. I love the direction that the retelling of Two-Face, I think is fine. They're not changing anything fundamentally about the character that makes me go, oh, this just makes his motivation completely screwed up or completely different. None of that does. I think it's really interesting. This new character, this new villain that they've added into it, this other family, I think is working really well. Really interesting. The Bruce Wayne had a relationship with this person when they were children. Really cool. By the end of the book, she's trying to get Bruce Wayne to get a hold of Batman to help protect her because she knows Two-Face is coming to get her and she's screwed. We get Matches Malone's in this, which is awesome, always. And just really, I'm just outstanding book that not enough people talk about and read, I don't think. Brain Boy, issue number 3 from Dark Horse Comics. We finish up the storyline with this. Still really digging this book. Love the artwork. There's some. You get this story arc is tied up with this dictator and stuff, but you also get some other really interesting storylines that are bigger picture kind of stuff that makes you go and there's going to be some really interesting things going forward. The next issue is a 0-year issue. It's reprinting what was in the Dark Horse Presents stuff. I probably won't be getting that issue, but I fully intend on getting the book after that if it continues on, because it has actually been really, really enjoyable. Just kind of like this really slick style of art and the way it's inked and whatnot and the way it's colored. I think it's really cool. It's been fun. It's fun, kind of a, using psionics, kind of a thriller kind of thing. X-Men number 7. I really enjoy the Dodson, Terry and Rachel Dodson's artwork. This story, this Lady Death, new version of Lady Death here, didn't really have anything for me. I'm done with the book. I'm not going to keep ordering it. It just hasn't had enough of anything between the being thrown off, being part of a crossover for a while. Kind of took some of the wind out of the sails of the book for me, and this just wasn't that compelling. Not compelled to keep picking it up. It's a more expensive book, and just doesn't do anything for me. Young Avengers number 12 basically finishes setting up the final fight that is going to happen, it looks like, between our Young Avengers and Mother and her group of Avengers that have been assembled of ex-boyfriends and girlfriends and jilted people that want to take them out. Some really great lines in here, or really interesting stuff from the fact that Loki's girlfriend that was left at the beginning of time sounds like really what she is she's like an embodiment of some of the power and strife that was taken from him when he was reverted back to being a kid. Interesting as far as that goes. So very cool. 3 more issues and it's done. But pretty awesome stuff. Really enjoyed it. Supergirl issue number 25. Quite honestly, I did not read it. I picked it up, I thumbed through it, went, oh crap, because this is number 3 in another crossover event amongst the Superman titles that has to do with Hell. I just don't understand how Hell is that interesting of a character to have a second one now, crossover of that. I will be having a conversation with my daughter about this because I'm not enjoying Supergirl right now with the stuff that they continue to have her go through and not have her be an interesting character anymore. She just reacts to all the crap that happens to her, and it's just kind of getting old, and I want some proactive something or other. So I'll be talking with Chloe and deciding whether or not we're going to continue on with the book, because it had its moments where it was great early on, and now it's becoming more of a struggle. Wonder Woman issue 25, awesome as always. The art was a little strange in this. The artist that covers when Cliff Chang isn't on the book, isn't the normal person that did it this time, so that was a bit of a and it's just off enough to be kind of a little bit strange. Story's really excellent though. Continuing on the the whole question of will Wonder Woman take over being war or not, and what is Strife up to? Obviously no good by the dent of her name, and we've got the woman who was with the firstborn is seeking them, seeking them out because she's still got a axe to grind as far as that goes. And there's a brutal dinner scene in here with Apollo, Dionysus, and the firstborn that is pretty vicious and cool. So great book, excellent book. Always highly recommend Wonder Woman. And then issue 25, last book to talk about, Animal Man. He shows up at the awards ceremony to save the people who are being attacked by Brother Blood's minions. Him and his wife both show up because she's going with him. They fight and pretty much win in a way, but don't because it's all caught on film, and it's kind of what the followers wanted. To some degree, there's some pretty funny moments in here with the award ceremony, and then it goes strange. They basically about won, and then Buddy Baker and his wife kiss, and then he kind of goes, I'm feeling weird. He thinks he's being sucked back into the red, and instead he lands on some alien planet. So like he's in space or something. So I mean, it's titled Lost in Space at the end of it. So I don't know what, it just feels like that completely throws this whole current plot line out the window. So I don't know what's going on. Or did they move Animal Man off and out of the way so more of the story can be about Maxine, who's hiding in the red, trying to figure out what to do with Brother Blood being in the red. I don't know. It just seems really strange. And I'm concerned, but I'll see where it goes. So far it hasn't really told me that it's going to go bad. I just am really wondering how that all works. It feels like this kind of derails their plot line, but they're doing it to themselves. It's like it's a crossover or something that's doing it. So be curious to see how it ends up being. Hopefully this wasn't too horribly long. Thank you for watching. Like I said, next week I will be back doing a little bit more normal kind of a thing. Maybe.